Hello students. So in the previous video we have done the law of mass action. What is law of mass action? Law of mass action states that the rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the product of the molar concentration of the reactants at a constant temperature at any given time. Or we can say that the rate of chemical reaction at any particular temperature is proportional to the product of the molar concentration of reactants, with each concentration term raised to the power equal to the number of molecules of the respective reactants taking part in the reaction. This we have already done. Now we have done certain questions also. Again, one example is in front of you. Hydrogen gas, when reacts with iodine gas, it forms hydrogen iodide gas. So in terms of concentration, if I want to calculate the equilibrium constant, I will write here Kc and Hi, the concentration of product. So hydrogen iodide is a product and stoichiometry is 2, so that will become the power, and upon the concentration of reactants, so hydrogen and iodine are the reactants, so I'll take their concentration, so no stoichiometry, so no powers will be here. So in this way I can calculate the equilibrium constant for this reaction. Because I'm calculating this equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, so I can write here C, Kc. I'll write here Kc. K stands for equilibrium constant and C for representing concentration. One more example, nitrogen plus hydrogen reacts and form ammonia. So if I want to calculate the concentration constant for this, equilibrium constant for this in terms of concentration, so again Kc is equivalent to concentration of product, that is ammonia, stoichiometry is 2, so 2 will become the power upon concentration of reactant, that is nitrogen and hydrogen. So nitrogen power 1 and hydrogen power 3. Calcium carbonate is in solid form. When we heat calcium carbonate, it produces solid calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. Now students, here again when we will calculate the equilibrium constant for this reaction, so formula will become same, that is K is equivalent to the concentration of products upon the concentration of reactant. But here if you can see, the calcium carbonate, which is the reactant, that is in solid state, and calcium oxide, one of the product, is also in the solid state. At solid and liquid state, concentration remains constant, that is equivalent to 1. So here we can put the concentration 1 and here also 1. It means the value of equilibrium constant is dependent upon only upon the concentration of carbon dioxide here, because only carbon dioxide is present in the gaseous states. Other both these compounds are present in the solid state, and the concentration of solid state is 1. Clear? So if we have anything in solid or liquid form, we will take concentration as 1. Clear? Now we will move to the next. As I've told you that here all the reactants and the product are in gaseous state. So here we can calculate the equilibrium constant in terms of pressure also. As we know, gases have pressure. So in the case of gases, we can measure the equilibrium constant in terms of pressure also. So what we will do for that? Simply we will write here Kp. In place of Kc, we will write Kp. The formula will remain same. The pressure of products upon the pressure of reactants. Here I will write here the product is NH3. If I take this example, this reaction as an example, so the pressure of ammonia, and because stoichiometry is 2, so here also the power will become 2, and then the pressure of hydrogen and pressure of nitrogen. If I want to calculate the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, then I will put the concentration. If in terms of pressure, then I will put the pressure. If I'm calculating in terms of concentration, I will write Kc. If I'm calculating in terms of pressure, I will write Kp. So what I want to say you that in the case of gases, we can measure the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration also and in terms of pressure also. But if we are having the reactants of the product, or one of the reactant of the product in solid state or in liquid state, then we will calculate in terms of concentration. Clear? Now, what is the relation between this Kp and Kc? Is there any relation? So we will derive the relation, which is very important for your examination point of view. This derivation can come, and otherwise the formula which we will derive, that you people will use in a lot of numericals. For ideal gas, we know PV is equivalent to nRT. So we can write P is equivalent to NV upon RT. Is it? If we will come here, and N upon V. What is this N upon V? That is number of moles upon volume. That is equivalent to concentration. Concentration is equivalent to N upon V only. So in place of N upon V, we can write here C also. So it will become P is equivalent to CRT. Now suppose we are having this reaction. We will take this reaction because all the reactants and products are in gaseous state, so it will become easy for us. So we will take this reaction, and if I have to calculate the equilibrium constant in terms of pressure for this reaction, so what will be the formula? First I will write the reaction, I will balance the reaction, then I will put all the things in formula. That is the pressure of product, which is hydrogen iodide, power 2 upon the pressure of reactants, that is hydrogen and iodine. This will be the formula. In place of pressure, as we have derived here, P is equivalent to CRT. So I can write CRT also. Okay, so temperature is constant, and R is also, R is a universal constant, and temperature we are keeping constant here. So I can write CHIRT square, or I can say the concentration of HIRT power 2 upon CH2RT and CI2RT. Can I write this? Yes, we can. So because RT is common, so I can write like this also. CHI power 2 and upon CH2 I2, because RT is here also and RT is here also. So RT I have written as a common, and here the power is 2, and here also 1 into 1. The power will become 2. So when 2 will go up, it will become RT2 minus 2. Yes. Okay. So Kp, and this is what? If I calculate the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, so I used to write like this only, the concentration of product upon concentration of reactant. So it means this is Kc actually for this reaction. So I can write here Kc also, because Kc is equivalent to concentration of product upon concentration of reactant, and RT I have written. And this is what I have done. I have subtracted the gaseous moles of product minus the gaseous moles of reactant. And in thermodynamics, we have studied about it, that the gaseous moles of product minus gaseous moles of reactant is equal to what? Delta Ng. So in place of this, I can write here delta Ng. So what will become the formula for this, or what will be the relation between Kp and Kc? That is Kp is equivalent to Kc into RT delta Ng, where delta Ng is change in the number of gaseous moles. R is a universal constant, T is a temperature, Kp is equilibrium constant at in terms of pressure, and Kc is equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. So this formula we have derived, that is Kp is equivalent to Kc RT delta Ng. So if we have Kp, we can calculate Kc. If we have Kc, we can calculate Kp with the help of this formula. So this derivation is also very important. Clear? Now just have a look on this reaction. Now for this reaction we have calculated already. Take one more reaction here, nitrogen plus hydrogen forming ammonia. So what will be the Kpa for this reaction? Kp is equivalent to Kc RT delta Ng. What is delta Ng here? The number of moles of product, that is 2, minus number of moles of reactant, that is 3 plus 1 4. So 2 minus 4, it is minus 2. Clear? So Kp is equivalent to Kc upon RT power 2, or Kp is equivalent to Kc RT power minus 2 for this reaction. Now if the value of delta Ng is 0, then what will become? Power 0. When we know this, that anything having 0 power is equivalent to 1, so this value will become 1. So in that case, Kp is equivalent to Kc. So if in any reaction the value of delta Ng is 0, for that reaction Kp will be equivalent to Kc. If delta Ng is more than 0, means the value of delta Ng is positive, then what will become? Whatever will be the value of delta Ng, uh, then in that case, anything will be the value of RT. You know, like suppose if delta Ng is 1, suppose, then Kp is equivalent to Kc multiplied by the value of Rt. So in that case, Kp will be more than Kc, because for calculating Kp, we are multiplying Kc by the value of Rt. So in that case, Kp will be more than Kc. And if the value of delta Ng is less than 0, means the value of delta Ng is negative, like here, the value of delta Ng is negative. So what will happen? If the value of delta Ng is negative, then this whole value will become negative. Then in that case, the value of Kc will be more than the value of Kp, because if this is negative, then value of Kp will be negative, and then the value will be lesser. So with the help of this, we can measure whether the Kp or Kc will be equal, or Kp will be greater than Kc, or Kp will be less than Kc for any reaction. Now we will see the units of K. Units of K means the units of equilibrium constant is also dependent upon the value of delta Ng. Why? Because if the value of delta Ng is 0, if the value of delta Ng is 0, means the when the total number of moles of product is equal to the total number of moles of reactant, then K has no unit. Because what will happen? The total number of moles are equal, so the units will divide with each other, and there will be no unit of K. Then we will write K like this only. Like for this reaction, the number of mole of product is 2, and the number of mole of reactant is also 1 plus 1 2. So value of delta Ng will be 0. So the equilibrium constant of K for this reaction is 48. This is a value, fixed value. I'm telling you this. So that is 48. So we will not write any unit with this. The value of equilibrium constant for this reaction is 48, only 48. If the value of delta Ng is positive, like this reaction, solid and gas, calcium carbonate we are heating, and uh, the products are calcium oxide solid and carbon dioxide gas. So we know that in delta Ng we consider the number of moles of gaseous atoms only, or the gaseous compounds only. So here only carbon dioxide is present in the gaseous state. So what will happen when we will calculate delta Ng? So it will be 1 minus 0, that is 1. So value of delta Ng is positive. Then in that case, unit will be mole per liter. Clear? If the value of delta Ng is more than 1, like if it is 2, then what it will become? Mole square per liter square. Right? Like this, we can write the units. If the value of delta Ng is negative, then what will happen? Like in this reaction, the number of moles of product is 2, and the number of moles of reactants are 4. So delta Ng will be 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. Then unit will be mole per square, or liter square per mole square. Clear? Liter square per mole square. So in this way we can calculate the units. So what I have said, that units of K are also dependent on the value of delta Ng. Clear? And other thing is also dependent upon delta Ng. What is that thing? What we have calculated here? What we have calculated? The amount of Kp and Kc, whether the Kp will be greater or Kc will be greater. So these two things are dependent on the value of delta Ng. Now types of equilibrium. It's a very simple topic. We have two type of equilibrium, that is homogeneous equilibrium and heterogeneous equilibrium. Homogeneous equilibrium is an equilibrium when the reactants and products are in same state. Like here in this reaction, you can see that hydrogen iodine and hydrogen iodide, that is reactants and products, all are in gaseous state. So the equilibrium reaction in which all the reactants and the products are in same phase or in same state, that is called as homogeneous equilibrium, or that reactions are called as homogeneous equilibrium reactions. Now heterogeneous, very simple, the equilibrium reaction in which the reactants and the products are present in different phases. Though that reactions are called as heterogeneous equilibrium reaction. For example, right now in front of your screen, we are having the reaction of calcium carbonate, solid calcium carbonate decomposing into solid calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. So the reactant is in solid state and products are in solid and gaseous states. So these type of reactions or these type of equilibrium are called as heterogeneous equilibrium. Clear? Now, what are the characteristics of equilibrium constant? So, the first character is that equilibrium constant is applicable only when the concentration of reactants and the concentration of product is equal. That I have explained you already. If we are calculating, if we are dividing the concentration of product by the concentration of reactants, so whatever value we will get, that is the equilibrium constant. And if the reaction is at equilibrium, then only if the concentration of reactant and the concentration of product is constant. But if any time during the reaction we are calculating the constant value, then that is called as reaction quotient. If we are dividing the concentration of product by the concentration of reactant at any time, means the reaction has not attained the equilibrium and we are calculating, that is called as Q, or the reaction quotient that I have explained you already. So with the help of K, we come to know that whether the reaction is at equilibrium or not, because the value of K is independent of the initial concentration of reactants. Whatever will be the initial concentration of the reactants when the reaction will start, that will not decide the value of K. Which concentration will decide the value of K? The concentration which is present at the equilibrium. जब equilibrium आ चुका, उस वक्त reactants और product की क्या concentration है, उस पर depend करता है K का value. Reaction जब start हुई, उस वक्त reactants का concentration कितना था, उससे K को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. K is independent for that. Then K has a definite value for each reaction. Like for hydrogen and iodine, forming hydrogen iodide, the value of K is 48 always. Clear? At a particular temperature. But if I reverse the reaction, means when hydrogen and iodine combine, they form hydrogen iodide. And when hydrogen iodide decompose, it again forms hydrogen and iodine, because here we are talking about reversible reactions. So what will be the effect on equilibrium constant? In that case, equilibrium constant will be the reciprocal for of this reaction. Clear? अगर reaction हमारी reverse हो जाती है, like we can attain the equilibrium from forward reaction also and from backward reaction also. So if we are having the equilibrium constant of forward reaction, then the equilibrium of backward reaction will be the reciprocal of that. Clear? Exam में बहुत बार ये पूछा जाता है, कई बार JEE में भी ये question आ जाता है. It's a very simple question. You only have to calculate the reciprocal for that. So that equilibrium constant for this reaction will be 1 upon K, that is 1 upon 48. Clear? K is independent of a catalyst, means the catalyst can increase the speed of the reaction, but K पर उसका कोई effect नहीं होता, because K is what? Equilibrium constant. Equilibrium कितनी जल्दी आया या कितनी देर से आया, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो catalyst can decide only the time of the equilibrium, but value of K पर उसका कोई effect नहीं होता. So what I have told you, that K can be changed only with the change of temperature. K के ऊपर अगर कोई change आएगा तो वो किसका आएगा? सिर्फ temperature का, और किसी भी चीज का कोई effect equilibrium constant यानी K के ऊपर नहीं होता. Now see there is one reaction. The equilibrium constant is 48. If I want to calculate the equilibrium constant for the reverse reaction, it will become 1 upon 48. Now, if I multiply this reaction by 2, then what will happen? Then how we will calculate the equilibrium constant? We will not multiply the equilibrium constant for 2 for this. Equilibrium constant for this reaction will be square of this reaction. Here I am multiplying the reaction by 2. So equilibrium constant I will take as power of 2. Clear? So equilibrium constant for this reaction will be 48 square. And if I divide this reaction by 2, then how I will calculate the equilibrium constant for this? In that case, I will take under root of this reaction to calculate the equilibrium constant for this. Clear? So it means if we are reversing the reaction, equilibrium constant will be reciprocal of the example reaction. If I multiply this by 2, the equilibrium constant will be square of this equilibrium constant. And if I divide the reaction by 2, equilibrium constant will be under root of this. This I have taken as an example, this reaction, but this will remain same for all the reactions. Whenever we want to calculate the equilibrium constant for the reverse reactions, or when we multiply the reaction by any number, or when we divide the equation by 2, so we can calculate by this. And if the reaction is completing into more than one steps, like sulfuric acid, when we decompose sulfuric acid, in first step it gets decomposed into hydrogen, it releases one hydrogen ion and it forms HSO4. Then in second step, another hydrogen ion will also come out and it will become SO4 2 minus. So suppose in this step the equilibrium constant, for this step the equilibrium constant is K1, and for this step the equilibrium constant is K2. So what will be the equilibrium constant for this whole reaction? हम प्लस नहीं कर देंगे, generally we do plus, we will not plus, we will multiply. So that will be the equilibrium constant for this reaction will be the product of the equilibrium constant of both these steps. So these are certain formulas or certain ways by which you can calculate the equilibrium constants if you are having one equilibrium constant already with you for the reaction, or if you have calculated that. Now we will see what are the applications of equilibrium constant. मतलब equilibrium constant हम calculate ही क्यों करते हैं, क्या benefit है, क्या पता चलता है इससे हमें. So the very first thing what equilibrium constant tells us is that it predicts the extent of a reaction. Means the magnitude of the equilibrium constant K indicates the extent to which a reaction can go. It may be noted that equilibrium does not give any information about the rate at which the equilibrium is reached, only the extent कि कितना reaction हो चुका है. Like if K is large, if the value of K is large, so what it means? It means जब equilibrium आया तब maximum reactants product की form में convert हो चुके थे. यानी reaction complete ही होने वाली थी कि equilibrium आ गया. equilibrium आ गया मतलब रिएक्शन फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन में तो जा ही रही थी, लगभग खत्म ही होने वाली थी कि बैकवर्ड भी स्टार्ट हो गई रिएक्शन, और इक्वल हो गया दोनों जगह का रेट और दोनों जगह का कंसेंट्रेशन, तो इक्विलिब्रियम आ गया. तो इट मींस अगर आप रिएक्शन में देखें तो प्रोडक्ट जो है वो डोमिनेट करेंगे, यानी प्रोडक्ट ज्यादा होगा, रिएक्टेंट अप्रोक्सीमेटली खत्म हो चुका होगा. इट मींस द एक्सटेंट ऑफ रिएक्शन इज मोर. इफ द वैल्यू ऑफ के इज स्मॉल, इट मींस रिएक्शन अभी स्टार्ट ही हुआ था, थोड़ा सा ही रिएक्टेंट प्रोडक्ट में कन्वर्ट हुआ था कि इक्विलिब्रियम आ गया. सो इन दैट टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शंस रिएक्टेंट्स विल डोमिनेट, मींस द लेस प्रोडक्ट्स आर फॉर्म, सो द एक्सटेंट ऑफ रिएक्शन इज लेस. अभी लार्ज और स्मॉल, कितना लार्ज कितना स्मॉल, सो वी हैव फिक्स्ड इट विद अ quantity that is 10 to the power 3. Means if the value of K is more than 10 to the power 3, we will say that extent is more, means the extent of reaction is large and reaction may proceed completely. Clear? If the value of K is less than 10 to the power minus 3, it means extent of reaction is very less. मतलब जैसे ही reaction start हुआ थोड़ी ही देर में equilibrium आ गया. Clear? इसका मतलब ये है, for example, we are having this reaction hydrogen plus water forming hydrogen plus oxygen forming water, and for this reaction equilibrium constant, the value of equilibrium constant K is 2.4 into 10 to the power 47, which is much more than 10 to the power 3. बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी है, तो it means the value of K is very large. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, the extent of reaction is very large, means ये reaction approximately complete हो जाती है, तब जाके कहीं इक्विलिब्रियम आता है इस रिएक्शन में. सेम व्हेन हाइड्रोजन रिएक्ट्स विद क्लोरीन इट फॉर्म्स हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड. द इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट फॉर दिस रिएक्शन इज 4 into 10 to the power 31. 10 to the power 31 is also a very big value there as compared to 10 to the power 3. So here also extent of reaction is more, and we can say that this reaction also proceed completely most of the times. Then 10 to the power minus 3 to 10 to the power 3. If the value of K is 10 to the power minus 3 to 10 to the power 3, then it means the appreciable concentration of both reactants and product are present. Means जब equilibrium आया होगा तब approximately half of the reactants, half of the products में convert हो चुके थे. ठीक है, बिल्कुल बीच की पोजीशन रहेगी. So it can, the value of K or the equilibrium constant can predict the extent of reaction, कि कितना reaction हो चुका है और कितना रिएक्शन बाकी है. Next, it predicts the direction of the reaction. How it predicts the direction of the reaction? As I've told you, that we calculate when we calculate or when we take the ratio of the concentration of products and reactants at equilibrium, that is called as equilibrium constant, and we denote it by K. But if we take the ratio of the concentration of products and reactants at any time during the reaction, that is called as reaction quotient, and we denote it by Q. Now, suppose this is the reaction. This is a skeleton reaction or example reaction I have taken here. So, how I will calculate Q for this? That is reaction quotient. That is the concentration of products upon the concentration of reactants. Clear? Now, if the value of Q is less than K, it means the reaction proceeds from left to right, means in forward direction. इसका मतलब क्या है? अगर K की Q की वैल्यू कम आई है, कम मतलब Q की वैल्यू कम कब होगी? Q is proportional to the concentration of product. We can see this. अगर Q की वैल्यू कम है, it means products कम है अभी रिएक्शन में. Product कम है, it means reaction will proceed to forward reaction. Clear? Okay. If the value of Q is more than K, it means क्या होगा? रिएक्शन विल प्रोसीड इनटू बैकवर्ड डायरेक्शन. मोर देन के इट मींस इसमें प्रोडक्ट काफी ज्यादा हो गए हैं इक्विलिब्रियम के कंपैरेटिवली, तो इट मींस रिएक्शन विल प्रोसीड एट बैकवर्ड डायरेक्शन. एंड इफ द वैल्यू ऑफ Q इज इक्वल टू K, it means the reaction is at equilibrium. It will neither move to forward direction nor to backward direction. So in this way, when we compare the value of K with Q, we can predict the direction of the reaction also. Now the third application is that we can calculate the concentration with the help of equilibrium constant. Like suppose we are having the value of K, so and the value of the concentration of products we have, so we can calculate the concentration of reactants. And if we have the concentration of reactants, so with the help of K we can calculate the concentration of products. Clear? At a given, okay, so these are the applications of equilibrium constant. Now look at some of the examples. At a certain temperature and a total pressure of 10 to the power 5 pascals, iodine vapor contained 40% by volume of iodine atom. And this is a reaction which is given to us. Calculate Kp for the equilibrium. We have to calculate equilibrium constant in terms of pressure for this reaction. So first of all, we will see the reaction. Here we are having iodine gas and it is decomposing into iodine atoms. So what he is saying in the reaction, he is saying that the total pressure is 10 to the power 5 and iodine vapor contain 40% by volume. 40% by volume. So what we will do? So it means the partial pressure of iodine atom which is what 40% बोला ना उसने, तो 40/10 किसका 40%? 10 to the power 5 का total pressure is 10 to the power 5. So the partial pressure of iodine atom will be 40/100 into 10 to the power 5. That is this. हमारे पास iodine atoms का partial pressure आ गया है ना, बिकॉज उसने क्या बोला है हमारे पास कि आयोडीन वेपर कंटेन 40% बाय वॉल्यूम ऑफ आयोडीन एटम्स. एटम कितने प्रेजेंट है? 40%. अगर 40% एटम प्रेजेंट है तो इट मींस बाकी का 60% आयोडीन किस फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट है? वेपर फॉर्म में. ठीक है, तो वेपर फॉर्म का प्रेशर कैसे निकलेगा? 60/100 into 10 to the power 5. So now we are having the partial pressures of iodine atom also and the partial pressure of iodine molecule also. So now we can calculate the value of Kp. That is equilibrium constant in terms of pressure, which is equivalent to the pressure of product, that is iodine atom, upon the pressure of reactant, that is iodine gas. Clear? Here the stoichiometry is 2, so 2 will become the power, and here there is nothing, 1, so no powers. The P of I means the partial pressure of iodine atom. We have calculated 0.4 into 10 to the power 5. So 0.4 into 10 to the power 5 into 0.4 into 10 to the power 5. And the partial pressure of reactant, that is iodine molecule, is 0.6 into 10 to the power 5. We will calculate this and answer will become 2.6 into 10 to the power 4. Clear? Okay. Now, one more example. For equilibrium constant for the reaction is given to us, and equilibrium constant for this reaction is also given to us, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power 5. Find the equilibrium pressure of all gases if 10 bar of hydrogen bromide is introduced. If 10 bar of HBr is introduced, then what will be the equilibrium pressure for this reaction? So first we will write the reaction. We will balance the reaction. It is already balanced. No. Uh, yes, first we will write the reaction. And now what he's saying, find the equilibrium pressure of all the gases if 10 bar of HBr is introduced. HBr is introduced, it means reaction is moving in backward direction. HBr से starting हो रही है, इसका मतलब HBr will decompose into hydrogen and bromine. So we will write the backward reaction for this. And when we are writing the backward reaction, what will happen to Kp? It will become reciprocal of this, so it will be the Kp. Clear? Now what he is saying, when we are starting the reaction, the concentration of pressure of HBr is 10. So we will write here 10. अब जब रिएक्शन स्टार्ट हुई है उस वक्त तो इनका कोई प्रेशर नहीं होगा, बिकॉज अभी तो ये बने ही नहीं है. सो जितना भी प्रेशर है वो इसी का है, दैट इज 10 बार. नाउ एट इक्विलिब्रियम, जब इक्विलिब्रियम आएगा तो इसका प्रेशर कुछ कम होगा. वाई कम होगा? बिकॉज इट विल डिकम्पोज इनटू हाइड्रोजन एंड ब्रोमीन, है ना. तो जब ये कम हो जाएगा तो इसका प्रेशर भी कम होगा. तो लेट्स सपोज कि इसका प्रेशर P कम हुआ, तो 10 माइनस P. जितना इसका प्रेशर कम हुआ वो किसका प्रेशर बन गया अब? बिकॉज हाइड्रोजन ब्रोमाइड इज डिकम्पोजिंग इनटू हाइड्रोजन एंड ब्रोमीन, तो ये जो जितना प्रेशर कम हुआ है ये इन दोनों का प्रेशर होगा हाफ ऑफ. तो इसका प्रेशर कितना हो जाएगा इक्विलिब्रियम पर? P/2 और इसका P/2. गेट इट? समझ गए? ठीक है. और प्रेशर हमारे पास कितना है यहाँ पर स्टार्टिंग में 10. क्लियर? तो 10 माइनस P और इसका प्रेशर कितना हो गया हाइड्रोजन का P/2, इसका भी P/2. Now how we calculate equilibrium constant in terms of pressure? That is the pressure of products. Product हमारे पास क्या है? हाइड्रोजन एंड ब्रोमीन. इनके प्रेशर्स क्या है? P/2 and P/2. So we will write here P/2, P/2. दोनों के आगे कुछ भी स्टोइकोमेट्रिक नंबर नहीं है, so no powers. Then pressure upon pressure of reactant. रिएक्टेंट कौन है? हाइड्रोजन ब्रोमाइड. स्टोइकोमेट्री है 2, प्रेशर है इसका 10 माइनस P. So 10 माइनस P पावर 2. क्लियर? अब हमने क्या किया कैलकुलेशन को, अब पहले तो हमने इसको P/2, क्योंकि दोनों जगह पावर्स हैं, ऊपर भी 2 हैं और नीचे भी 2 है, तो हमने P/2 10 to the power 10 माइनस P और पावर बाहर कॉमन ले लिया, क्योंकि अभी तो हमारा P/2 पावर 2 हो चुका है, नीचे भी पावर 2 है. तो जस्ट फॉर मेकिंग कैलकुलेशन इजी. ठीक है, ये इस तरीके से आ गया हमारे पास. अब यहाँ पर 1.6 into 10 to the power 5 इज गिवन टू अस. तो हम पॉइंट को राइट साइड ले आते हैं, तो यहाँ पावर कितनी हो जाएगी 4, इसे 16 बनाने के लिए, बिकॉज वो हमारे लिए थोड़ा इजी हो जाएगा. तो कितना हो गया नंबर 16 into 10 to the power 4. नाउ हियर वी आर हैविंग 2. अब अगर हमें इसका स्क्वायर है वैल्यू और सिर्फ इसकी वैल्यू निकालनी है तो इसका अंडर रूट करना पड़ेगा, है ना, हाफ करना पड़ेगा ना. तो इसका अंडर रूट कितना आ जाएगा 4 into 10 to the power 2. एंड हेयर P/2 multiplied by 10 20, 2 multiplied by 2P हो गया. क्लियर? क्या करा हमने? क्रॉस मल्टीप्लीकेशन कर दिया. P की वैल्यू हमारे पास आ गई. कितनी आ गई? 4.98 into 10 to the power minus 2. क्लियर? अब इस वैल्यू को हम 10 में से सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे, तो हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा? क्या आ जाएगा? प्रेशर ऑफ HBr, और इसे हम 2 से डिवाइड कर देंगे, दैट इज 2 पॉइंट कितना आएगा 2.49 इंटू 10 टू द पावर माइनस 2. तो हमारे पास प्रेशर्स आ जाएंगे हाइड्रोजन का और ब्रोमीन का. क्लियर? सो इन दिस वे वी कैन कैलकुलेट. कितने प्रेशर्स आ जाएंगे? हाइड्रोजन और ब्रोमीन का डिवाइड करेंगे तो 2.49 इंटू 10 टू द पावर 2 आ जाएगा, है ना. एंड इसे अगर हम इस वैल्यू को इफ वी सब्ट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम 10 में से सब्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं तो कितना आ जाएगा? 6 पॉइंट समथिंग आ जाएगा. 6 पॉइंट समथिंग इंटू 10 टू द पावर माइनस 2, है ना. या फिर ओवरऑल देखें तो 10 बार आ जाएगा इसको कैलकुलेट करके. सो इन दिस वे वी कैन कैलकुलेट द वैल्यूज. ठीक है, तो इस तरीके के न्यूमेरिकल्स आपको एग्जाम में आते हैं. सो टुडे वी विल डू अप टू हियर ओनली. प्रैक्टिस द न्यूमेरिकल्स.